What's up, guys? It's Christian here, and today I want to talk to you guys about why you need to embrace being alone. And I, it's so background, context, whatever you want to call it. I go to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. I just completed my first semester there, and prior to that, I had studied at UNLV, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. I'd studied mechanical engineering at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas for 2 years, and now I've transferred here to Embry-Riddle, where I'm studying aerospace engineering. And I mentioned that because my semester just ended. I had my last, if today's Friday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Tuesday. So I had my last final exam 3 days ago, and so I had just flown home on yesterday. But the day before that, I went on a hike, and I went on this hike by myself. And unbeknownst to me, I thought it was just going to be like a couple hours, whatever, and ended up being 5. So before I go on hikes, I'm definitely figuring out how long these hikes are going to be. And you'll see these videos. I'll post them in the next week or so. That on this hike, I ended up recording videos. In addition to that, brought my journal with me to, write down whatever thoughts I might have gotten as I'm going through the woods. And then, first video I made was about being present, how to refocus when you get out of what they like to call the flow state. And then I made a video about what you can do when you feel fear. And then I made another video, or did I make another video? I think I did. Yeah, 2 or 3 videos I recorded in the woods about things, just random thoughts that I had just gotten. I guarantee you right now, I would not have been able to make those videos if I wasn't, well, one, I wouldn't be able to make those videos if I was not in nature. And 2, I wouldn't have been able to make those videos if I was with someone else. And I'm not saying that because if I was with someone else, it might be an inconvenience for them for me to be just sat there in front of a camera talking while they're just twiddling their thumbs. I'm saying that because it was completely still. I'm just walking through the woods. And so that gives the opportunity for literally anything in that moment to enter my mind. But my thoughts would be a lot different if I was with another person, if we were talking about something, of course. And so that is why it's so important to be alone, because when you're in these states of being alone, that is when you can be really reflective, when you can really get to know yourself, right? I think that's honestly how I really got to know myself so well, is that I spent a lot of time alone in my adolescent years. So by the time I'm ready to get into college, I know myself. I know what opportunities I want, what opportunities I don't want. I know how to navigate social situations and what types of people I want to associate with. All of these things, excuse me, because I chose to get to know myself and know who I want to be, and then take action to create that person. And this is such an important process. And of course, I'm fortunate to have done this and worked through this in my adolescent years. But let me tell you, it is never too late. It's never too late. All right. So I also, one of my ideas that I had written in my, I have actually a couple of notes tabs that I've, just oh, an idea just popped in my head, I'll put it down in there. And that's the beauty of and guess what? Guess how those ideas came about? Me spending time alone. Now, this wasn't just random time. This was just came up as I'm eating lunch, as I'm walking to as I'm waiting to get into class, like those types of things. But where was I going with that? I was going to, yeah, just reinforcing the point that I just made, that it's when you're alone that you get these ideas and you get to be reflective with them. And then through those, you get to reflect and be like, hey, who do I want to be? How do I work to become that person? And it's interesting, like as I was like, on the internet for a little bit, doing a little bit of, well, so here's the thing. I had heard that it was like Einstein or somebody like that who would get ideas while in a bathtub. And so I'm on Google trying to fact check myself, and I find that it's like Archimedes, or however you say it, who got ideas in a bathtub. And then Isaac Newton got an idea while he was like literally just sitting by a tree, and an apple fell, and inspiration struck, and the rest is history. Right? Isn't that crazy? And then, yeah, I'll link the article below. I'll be so kind as to do that for you guys. And because what the article like came, like the main point was like exactly what I'm saying, is that these like random moments where we're just not really doing anything, where we're just by ourselves and not much is going on around us, that's when we're able to have the best thoughts. Because think about it, our mind is just like not doing anything in that moment. And so we're able to just come up with these thoughts. And obviously they can be world changing. So, of course, caveat is you don't just, of course, it can be great to be like this all the time, but eventually you'll like end up with like no results if you're just constantly like not doing anything. But yeah, just know that you don't always have to have company all the time. You can be alone and have tons of fun. I can tell you that from experience. So make sure you spend some time alone sometimes and get to know yourself, get your journal. And side tangent, that's something I've been doing recently, is I've been talking so much I'm running out of breath. Is if I like can't sleep, I'll just grab my journal and start writing. And sometimes I'm able to like, fall asleep right away, but even if not, I'm able to come up with some reflection that I was not able to do during the day when I've like, 8 math problems to do by the end of the night. So yeah, it's so important to spend time alone, because that is when you can be the most reflective and get ideas to help yourself become the best version of yourself. All right? So make sure you spend some time alone. Love y'all. Take care.